Valentine Owen. Come on up, Reverend Valentine. Yes.
Well, thank you everyone for being here, and good morning. And I see some of yous were brave enough to go out there and drive in that slippery weather. So I really appreciate that. And I want to thank Reverend Tress for doing the announcements and doing the meditation this morning. And I want to thank Reverend Gale for bringing these beautiful poinsettias, these real live ones, if you notice, because some of the other ones aren't real. But these are absolutely gorgeous. And thank you for the musicians. So before I start my service, I really want to have a story for you to listen to the importance of light, because that's what I'm talking about today. So in a coastal town far away, there was a minister, and there was a great big storm that night in that town. And as that minister was thinking about it, he says, you know what? It's so stormy out there. I don't think I really want to go to the church tonight. And then he sat there and thought, and he says, nobody's going to come in this kind of weather. But something in his heart said, no, you better go. You just better go. You're the minister, and it's an evening service, and just in case somebody comes, you need to be there. So he picked up his lantern, and then he decided to go there, and he trotted up the hill. And as he trotted up the hill, he realized that the whole town was in darkness, not just his area, but the whole town. But he still went to the church because it was on top of the hill. And when he walked into the church, he just put the lantern on the windowsill, and he sat and talked to himself at the podium and decided, now what can I talk about today? What can I do when there's really nobody here? So he decided he would pray for his congregation. And maybe, just maybe, there was somebody out there in that storm, and he would pray for them. He waited for about an hour, and nobody showed up. So he decided he would just go back home. But when he went back home, he forgot the lantern at the church. And as he was walking down the hill, he says, you know, I wonder if it was even worth my while to go to church and be there when there was nobody there. But the next morning, he realized and got told that it was worth his while, because that night during that storm, there was a ship at sea, and the captain couldn't see where he was going. But all of a sudden, he saw a light on top of the hill, and he headed for that light. And as he headed for that light, he got into the harbor, and the ship was safe. So you see, no matter what, one light can make a difference. And we all have that light in us. So the lesson for that minister was, you can make a difference just by yourself. And that's the lesson that we should all take for ourselves. We are that light. We can make a difference in our own lives and in the lives of the people. So today is the Sunday before Christmas. And it is a light Sunday where we do celebrate our light. So I want us to share this sacred space amidst all these twinkling lights that we have here and the music that we had to celebrate the holiday season. So let us pause just for a moment and go deeper into a more powerful reflection of spiritual insight. Today, let's journey through a theme that resonates with the core of our being. By shining our light, our own divine light, this light that so often seems to be shadowed, or even seems to be steeped in darkness with some of us. But Scripture guides us, and it tells us about this profound light that is everywhere. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 and 16, it says, you are the light. You are the light of the world. And that means all of us. It doesn't say that some people are the light. It says that you are the light. It also says, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds. And all of us have goodness in us. So we do make good deeds. So in this season of giving and receiving, let's discover together that each of us can be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope for someone, and a source of comfort for someone by extending unconditional love and allowing ourselves to have that healing power of our light for our family, our community, our nation, and our world. In each of our hearts, there burns an unwavering divine flame. This flame, this divine spark, this light that's within us, it's our gift to the world. It's the truth about us. We have this divine capacity for good, for compassion, and for transformational love. You see, there's good in all of us. There's love in all of us. But sometimes we hide that. When we embrace our true selves with all our flaws and the strengths that we have, and we have both. We have flaws in us and we have strength in us. And all of us have that. So if we embrace that in ourselves, we allow other people to shine because they see the authentic part of us. So when we self-accept ourselves, it's an act of personal freedom. And it's a gift to those that are around us so that they may feel empowered to shine their light also. So imagine the collective brightness that we can create with the combined light of all of us. In this festive season, let's really emphasize our light and share it with others. Our connection with our family, our friends, our community, and that is a social bond that we have with these people. But it's also the energy that brings these people together, and they create a collective life, a light for each other. And this makes our lives more joyous. The Bible also illustrates. It says, "For where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am with them." This verse is a gentle yet powerful reminder of how our shared light can become a force and a good for all. Also, even modern psychology agrees with this spiritual wisdom that's emphasized in the Bible because it says it's vital for us to have social connection for our mental health. That's why having this spiritual community is so important to us because it accepts us just the way they are, just the way we are. It feeds our soul. You see, even scientists tell us that light reveals the world to us. Our body and our soul desire the light that's around us. Light triggers in our brain, and it gives us a sensation of color, because to see all the colors, we need light. Light supplies the energy for the food we eat. Just think of all the reasons that we need light. Light inspires us with special effects that we see out there. Think of the rainbow that you see after a storm, or the sunsets and the sunrises that we see, and the northern lights that some of the people see. In essence, light gives us our life, and we decide what kind of life we really want to have, to the degree that we shine our own divine light. Think for a moment. What would your life be like if you made a conscious, deliberate choice to spread your light wherever you went and with whoever you met? One of the ways to do this is to reveal our spiritual light frequency. I'm sure most of us have times in our life where we felt out of sync, or we felt out of balance or out of sorts. Think of those times when you just lost the groove of life. I'm sure every one of us had those kinds of times in our life when we just weren't on our game. We weren't being our best selves. We just felt stuck. We seemed like we kind of hit a plateau in our life and we couldn't seem to move forward or could not get back to be on track. Anytime we feel like that, we are out of balance. We're out of sorts. We're not living up to our highest and best. It's because that there is something within us that is lost or disconnected from our source. We don't feel centered or grounded in the truth of who we are. Somewhere we have diminished our light. You know that there is a spiritual light frequency, an energy, a wisdom, a creativity that is in each one of us. Each one of us has this amazing, incredible light in us that is meant for us to use and to share with others. But you see, often we lose touch with that light, where we don't feel that connection with our spiritual light frequency, that vibrational energy of the divine that is in us. That internal light that is always there for us, it's in us and it's around us because it's the energy and the intelligence and the vibration that made us, and it sustains us every day in our life. But often we forget this. Things in our life distract us. We get caught up in our own limited thinking, and we dim our own light. So we look to the things that are not working in our life instead of the things that are working in our life. You see, most of us, and I think all of us, have more good in our life than bad. Yet we focus on what's missing instead of being grateful for what we have. I really believe that if we want to have a better experience of life, we need to reveal our light, increase our spiritual light frequency, and take time to align with the divine nature that is in us. And some of the ways that we can increase our light frequency is to do some meditation in our life. Maybe to go to a place of solitude and get back in touch with ourselves. Walk in nature, that seems to be wonderful for most people. Maybe just say a prayer. Also do some affirmations, but most of all, go to a place of gratitude. Also, to increase our light, we need to let go of some of the past things that have happened in our life and forgive someone or ourselves. Maybe we have to make amends with someone. Also, maybe we need to just take an honest look at ourselves and really decide what it is that we want for our life. Maybe we just need to love and accept ourselves and the people in our life unconditionally, just the way they are. Think about that for a moment. What's going to raise your light frequency? What's going to make you feel more alive with the truth of who you are or who you came here to be? Many of us have goals and desires in our life. And the best way to attract and to achieve them is to raise the intensity of our light. And we do this by believing in our light, by being the light, by seeing the light in ourselves and others. See, believe it to the point that you can see it, you can feel it, and you can allow it to become part of your consciousness. You know when that light's in you. You act from it. You can feel it. You speak from that idea. It's been said, if you can have anything you want in life, but first you must become it in consciousness. Listen to that. You can have anything you want in life, but first you must become it in consciousness. So whatever you desire in life, you can have. If you radiate that consciousness and that light energy. Think for a second. What is something that you desire? What do you want to have? Or what do you want to be? What's the consciousness? That's the mindset. That's the feeling that you have to become that. What would you feel if you wanted to have better relationships in your life? If you wanted to have more prosperity? If you wanted to have greater health? You see, we have to become that. That's the spiritual light vibration level that you have to raise to acquire whatever is that you desire. You see, when I wrote that part of my talk, that little blip that says, that's the spiritual light vibration level that you have to raise to acquire what it is that you desire, I stopped and thought about that. And I sat with that for a while. And I said to myself, what is it that you desire that you don't seem to acquire or achieve? Where is it that I dim my light? And as I thought about that, I discovered that there's a few places where I dim my light. But I'd like to share one with you. And it comes up for me every once in a while. And it's the one that most upsets me. It may not be a big place for you, but it really ticks me off about myself. And I could use a stronger word there, but I won't. You see, I know better. I know that I should lose some weight. The doctor tells me that I should. I know if I lost some weight, I would feel better. My energy level would go up. I'd have better mental clarity in my mind. I wouldn't have these aches and pains in my body sometimes, and my knee would stop hurting. And the thing is, I even have a free place that I can work out to. See, I don't have any excuse not to be able to shine my light and achieve that. It doesn't seem to embrace that idea in my consciousness. I somehow don't embody that idea. But did you just hear that? There was that but. But I have this problem. I really like desserts. It's like they seduce me. They seem to call out to me, especially in the evenings when I'm all alone. That dessert says to me, you miss me. Come enjoy me. And I get up. And I ignore what's in my consciousness, the consciousness in me that knows better. And it's like as if I'm in a trance. I just go find the dessert that's on my counter. I make myself some hot water because I can't drink tea or coffee at night because I wouldn't go to sleep. And I have that dessert. I even sometimes take a piece of dessert when I buy it. I freeze all the rest of it, thinking, okay, I won't go use it. But then what happens? I just take out another piece, put it in the microwave, warm it up, and I can have it. So you see, I'm going to make a promise to myself and to you here and now. I'm going to increase my light frequency and quit dimming my light where my physical health is concerned. So, I'm telling you when. So if you're interested in this same idea, you can join me the first weekend of 2024. That's the first weekend where we can get together and be a support for each other so that our light will illuminate and increase and reveal a greater idea of who we are because we'll have a greater consciousness. So also that Sunday, I will be doing a white rock ceremony. In that ceremony, we can release what it is that we don't want anymore, and therefore make room for what it is that we desire to have and receive in our life. You see, if I make a promise to someone else to do something, I do it. But it seems when I promise to myself, I just ignore myself. So that's why I want to invite you and include you on this journey of mine that I'm going to take. When we come from a consciousness of light, we project a flow of light energy that becomes a healing influence on ourselves and the people around us. If we want to be that healing energy of light, we don't really need to do anything special. We don't need to convince anyone or anything. We just need to make a conscious decision to be the light in our own life and just be that light. So I want to share a story with you about Benjamin Franklin. When he wanted to introduce street lights to the people of Colonia, Philadelphia, he didn't go looking for the politicians to talk to them. He didn't take out an ad in the newspaper or agree or disagree or argue with anyone who discouraged him about this. Instead, he hung a brilliant lit lantern, a long bracket in front of his own house. And every night when it got dark, he lit that lantern. And people could see that street light from blocks away. And they liked the glow that it had. And soon his neighbors started putting out lanterns on brackets in front of their own homes. And it wasn't long before the entire neighborhood was illuminated with street lights. Benjamin Franklin simply became the light. He didn't ask anyone to do anything. In your life, if you want to change, become the example rather than give advice. And this is really good for us to know that our parents, we don't need to give advice to our children or maybe to our spouse or whatever. We just need to become the light and show him what we really are and what we really need. Because you see, people will follow your example much more quickly than follow your advice. So if you have a tendency to tell people what to do, especially your family, maybe just stop and just be the example of what it is you want them to do. If they like to argue with you, don't argue back. Be the person that just sends out love. So where you see darkness in your life, become the point of that light in that place. One person can make a difference, and that person can be you. You may think that it's not possible, but think of the many people who made a profound difference in this world just by being the light. And they were just one person when it started. You see, a man over 2,000 years ago knew his divinity. That was his light. And he lived from that light and that divinity. And that impacted the world to such a great extent that even today we celebrate his birth, and which we'll be celebrating his birth next week. And also on Friday night, we're having a light ceremony here. So we're also celebrating Christmas Eve that way. So if you're interested, please come. Be part of that light ceremony. You see, there was one nun working with the poor that showed compassion to the people that she was working. And she made a huge difference in their lives, Mother Teresa. There was one man who went on a hunger strike and changed the course of India's history, Gandhi. One black woman decided she didn't want to sit in the back of the bus, and she started desegregation, Rosa Parks. One man in the early 1900s decided that there should be a metaphysical spiritual teaching. We follow that teaching here. Ernest Holmes, one man made a difference. One person can make such a difference in our lives. And each of us can make a difference in our own lives and the lives of others. Where would you like to make a difference? When you let light into your life, we are embracing a spirit of renewal and transformation. We are choosing to focus on the good, to seek the opportunities for growth, and to embrace a sense of hope and optimism. We develop more compassion, more kindness, more understanding, more patience. We become more gentle and tolerant of those who annoy us. Think about that. If we have people in our life that annoy us, if we let our light shine, we can see their light in them also. We forgive those who hurt us. Also, we become less judgmental of others. We come to a place of unconditional love for ourselves and others. So today, I implore each of you to step into that role as a bearer of light with a renewed commitment to yourself. Let your compassion shine in every situation. Let your empathy be revealed in every interaction that you have with another. Let your love be the warmth that embraces the loved ones in your life. So join me now in prayer to become the strength, the wisdom, and the courage as you become that illuminated beacon of light in your world. So if you wish, please bow your head in prayer and touch your heart with your loving hands. So just breathe in, divine creator and source of all light and love. We come before you today with loving hearts and open spirits. We stand at the threshold of this festive season. We ask for your guidance and wisdom to truly become the light that you have called us to be. Bless each soul here with the courage to shine their inner light brightly. Help us to embrace your vulnerabilities, or our vulnerabilities, to acknowledge our strength and to shine our unique gifts with the world. May we be beacons of hope, vessels of love, and instruments of your peace. We pray for the strength to illuminate our lives and the lives of others, to rekindle joy where there is sadness, to spark hope where there is despair, and to radiate love where there is discord. Grant us the grace to uplift those who feel downhearted, encourage those who feel defeated, and to comfort those who feel alone. In this season of connection, bless our relationships, our family, our friends, and our community. Strengthen the bonds of love and understanding among us. Help us to build bridges of compassion and empathy, creating a network of support and care that reflects your divine love. As we go forth from this place, let our actions be a living statement to your unending love. May our words, our deeds, and our very presence be a source of light and warmth in this world. Fill us with your Spirit so that in every moment we choose kindness and walk among each other with unconditional love. We thank you, Spirit, for your everlasting light that guides us, for your love that sustains us, and for your grace that renews us. May we carry these blessings in our hearts today and always. And would you please repeat with me, I know that light shines through me and illuminates my way. I know that light shines through me and illuminates my way. And so it is. And thank you for being here. And now I'd like Reverend Drest to please come and close our service. And the